It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
That is right, my friends, right here from Slumberland at the Lake. It's our first ever edition of A Cup of Coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. I'm William Holtz alongside the great Chris Schneider. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man. It's good to be here, isn't it? Slumberland Furniture.
It is good to be here. It's a brand new weekly show. Chris and I will do a whole lot of talking. We love to do that.
That's what we get paid for, right?
We'll drink our coffee.
Yeah, all right. Cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee with Will and Chris. And our show's going to feature on national headlines, local headlines, be very heavily sports focused. We'll get to know each other a little bit better, and we'll also bring interesting guests on from time to time. But this show is every single week right here from Slumberland Furniture. And Chris, when we come back on A Cup of Coffee with Will and Chris, we've got some incredible local stories to fill you in on. Chris has got some fun questions he's going to ask me, and I think there's a big game coming up.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, baby.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That'll be fun.
The Super Bowl. So we'll talk about that and all things you need to know to get ready for this weekend's big game. That and more when we return after this word from our friends at Slumberland.
Hey guys, Daryl Cunningham from Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. I'm here to tell you all about our great President's Day sale. Right now, all our regularly priced Slumberland items are 25% off. And then it seems like we have items coming in every week that you can take off the floor or have delivered in a couple of days. And on top of everything, we're doing 48 months interest-free financing. So as you can see, there's lots of reasons to stop by Slumberland and check out the President's Day sale. For the entire crew, I'm Daryl Cunningham. We hope to see you soon.
And we are back. Good deals going on right here at Slumberland. You heard Daryl Cunningham, store manager, talk about that. Got to take advantage of that President's Day sale. Now, Chris, getting right into it. Lots to cover, but the thing that's on most people's mind, my mind, your mind, most people probably watching, is the big game this weekend. As you said, the Bucs and the Chiefs. The Chiefs looking for 2 years in a row.
2 in a row, back to back. I tell you what, they played their best game of the year last week in that nice win over the Bills. I actually picked the Bills to win that game. I thought the Bills had a real good shot. Chiefs just blew them out. So
yeah, we both picked the
interesting.
Bills, and I'm still licking my wounds a little bit here as
You're a big
diehard
Bills fan.
Bills fan, but still a really good thing. Love Patrick Mahomes, love Tom Brady. And you mentioned, the Bills had no problems with every team over the last few months until they got up to Kansas City. So let's look back at that game and see what Kansas City was able to do. I mean, because they fell behind, 9-0. Should have been 10-0.
I mean, did you even have a doubt, though, Kansas City could come back and win that game, even when it was 9-0?
The Bills, when they got that muff fumble from Hardman and then capped immediately with the play-action touchdown to Knox, and we're up 9-0, I felt okay, because the Chiefs don't typically gift you anything that big. But when our kicker, Tyler Bass, the Bills kicker, came out and missed that extra point, something about that moment made me think, oh no, this is a sign of things to come. And as you guys know, everybody out there knows, you really can't build a big lead against Kansas City and ever feel safe, especially in December and January.
I told my wife, and she's a bigger sports fan than I am.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, this is good for the Chiefs because it's going to wake them up and get them going. What's happened all year long was they jump out to a big lead and then kind of cruise and just hang on. It was opposite, and I think it worked in their favor to fall behind early because it just kind of sparked them, got them going.
Yeah, we've talked about this. You almost feel like Kansas City has been so good now the last few seasons, especially the last two, that they just don't lose many games. I mean, you look at 2 years ago, they lost 3. This year, they lost 2. So Patrick Mahomes just is not used to losing. And when you have a team that wins so much, it almost feels like they know they're going to win, and so their foot is always off the gas pedal.
Yeah.
Almost like they match the level of competition they're playing. Beat the Falcons by 3, but they're beating the good teams. They beat the Bucs, they beat the Saints, they beat the Bills, but they played teams that weren't that great. They lost to Oakland, barely hung on against the Chargers when the first matchup against rookie quarterback Herbert. So there's something weird about this team. Like we said, they play level their competition. And so if they get behind in the playoffs, that does seem to be the spark they need. And then, of course, Mahomes is off.
Well, just think, last year on the way to the Super Bowl, they trailed Houston by 24 and came back and won. They trailed the Titans by 10 and came back and won. And, of course, they trailed the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter by 10 points, came back and won. Falling behind is almost good for them in some strange, crazy way. I think their biggest challenge might be Andy Reid.
Yeah, I agree.
He has a hard time winning the big games, man.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's over that.
It almost seems like Andy Reid's kind of turned over a new leaf and reinvented himself when he left Philadelphia, because he always was known for in my opinion, mismanaging big talent. I mean,
like Patrick Mahomes. It was a quarterback sneak that hurt his knee last year in Denver, and then he had him on an option play that gave him the concussion a couple of weeks ago. How if you're a coach, are you going to run the most valuable player like that and get him hurt? No.
What's so funny is Andy Reid, we just got word. Andy Reid gave a memo to Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes. He says the rest of this week's practice take place on a railroad, on a train track. It's like he's always putting his star players in harm's way.
Unbelievable.
You're right. So it's time for us to make our predictions. We've got a long slew. We got 4 different things we're both gonna predict. Right. Before we do, I want to find out how we did through the playoffs, because I'll tell you what, for being this long season veteran of a sports expert with these tellies and these years in Dallas and Los Angeles and London, I was like, man, I don't stand a chance against predicting games. I'm 2 games up, baby.
Yeah, he's what, 5-1. I'm 3-3. You're much better at this than I am. That's for sure.
I said the sun shines on a dog's butt every once in a while. So I do have a 2-game lead, but you have an opportunity here to.
Can I catch you? Do I get extra points for the Super Bowl?
You do.
Okay, good.
1 point for picking a winner.
Okay.
Another point for the closest score.
Okay.
Another point for predicting the MVP correctly, and another point for whoever gets the coin toss correctly. We're going to start with, is the coin toss going to be heads or tails? And I'm writing this down because I don't want you to get some mysterious points out of nowhere.
Is it going to be heads or tails?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say it's going to be heads.
All right. Well, tails never fails, so Chris goes heads. I am going to go tails.
Okay, good.
On the...
I've already picked up a point there.
All right, MVP. Who is your Super Bowl MVP?
Patrick Mahomes.
Love it.
He shouldn't have won the MVP last year. It should have been Damian Williams.
No doubt about it.
Last year. But I think he's actually going to earn it this year. So.
All right, so clearly Chris has taken the Chiefs to win the game because he took Mahomes to be his MVP. And since I kind of went out of order here, it's my turn for MVP.
Yeah.
And I am going with the GOAT.
Oh, no, you're going Brady?
Brady, and let me tell you why real quick. No one is a bigger Patrick Mahomes guy than I am, but here's the deal.
Does anybody hate Tom Brady more than me?
I don't think so.
I don't like that guy. Yeah.
Well, here's the reason why, though. So the last 3 or 4 years, Tom Brady has continued to be relevant after everyone counted him out. As a matter of fact, back in 2009, everyone counted him out when he injured himself in Week 1 against the Chiefs, came on to win 3 more Super Bowls after that. So everyone's talking about Lamar Jackson last year.
Yep.
Okay, no one cares about Lamar Jackson right now. Yes, great athlete. He can't win in the playoffs. We've seen it the last couple of years. Guess who they were talking about at the end of last year? Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl MVP. This year, everybody's talking about Patrick Mahomes. Everyone's talking about Josh Allen. Everyone's talking about Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. All the while, guess who leaves their conference, goes to a brand new team at the age of 43. No one's talking about the Bucs, and he's able to get them to the Super Bowl. Something tells me that deep down, Tom Brady says, I'm more competitive than you guys realize. I know I'm the greatest ever. Before the whole world crowns Patrick Mahomes as the future GOAT, he couldn't get through me 2 years ago. Of course, I know about D Ford's offside. Shouldn't have happened. Patrick Mahomes should have been in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. He wasn't. Tom Brady beat him. 2019, Brady got knocked out before he didn't get a chance to beat Mahomes. Brady says the way I want to go out is I'm either going to end with the win over the future potential GOAT, or I'm going to lose the GOAT so he can prove he's the GOAT. And I absolutely think Tom Brady is going to get this W. And then not only is he going to get this W, he's coming back and he's going to give you another memorable run next year. You got Mahomes.
Yep.
I got Brady. What's your final score?
Okay, final score, I'm going 35-32 Chiefs. And I have to say, Tom Brady worries me.
Did you say 35-32?
I did.
Chiefs?
Chiefs.
And you said Tom Brady worries you? Why
He
is
does
that?
worry me because he probably is the greatest of all time.
But you hate him.
But I don't like him because he probably is the greatest of all time, yeah.
Is that why you don't like Tom Brady?
Well, that New England, I hate New England, right? And he played for New England for so long. But he's proven this year that dynasty in New England was not Bill Belichick. It was Tom Brady. I mean, he is special. He's something else. So he worries me, but he wouldn't worry me as much as if it wasn't for Coach Big Red over there calling stupid things on the sideline for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And here's the deal: is Patrick Mahomes. Last year he really busted onto the scene after his MVP season. He gets the Super Bowl. He gets the Super Bowl MVP. This year he's a little more accustomed to it. And so this is not going to be his first rodeo. And obviously for Thomas Brady, the greatest of all time, this is his 10th Super Bowl.
I know, it's incredible.
He's played in with an opportunity to win his 7th Super Bowl championship.
It's unreal.
The next closest, 4, right?
5, I think.
5? Who has?
Yeah.
I know Bradshaw has 4. I know Aikman has 2 or 3.
There's a defensive end that won 3 Super Bowls with the 49ers and 2 with the Cowboys. I'm trying to remember his name. Charles Haley.
Yeah, we don't count those.
So
defensive ends don't win Super Bowls unless you're Von Miller.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks win Super Bowls, so that's what counts.
Oh, you're talking just quarterbacks.
Yeah, just
okay.
quarterbacks.
All right.
So he could get 7, which would be 3 more
So
than
I
the next
think,
closest.
Bradshaw 4, Montana was 3. Is that
3.
right? Elway 2, I think.
Elway 2, Favre 1.
Manning
Montana also has 4, Ricky said.
Oh, he has 4?
I was going to say 3 or 4 for Montana. Him and Bradshaw are tied at 4.
Well, didn't he win one of those with the Chiefs?
No, he could have. Very well could have in 93. We're getting way off topic,
Wow.
which you guys could certainly
Sorry about that.
expect from us.
Yeah,
So,
a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland. You can expect us to go crazy.
squirrel. That's our MO. Okay, so you took 35-32.
Yeah.
So you think this is going to be a big lot of scoring?
I do. Yeah, I think it's going to. Remember a couple years ago when the Chiefs lost in the AFC Championship to New England? They didn't score a point in the first half. They scored like 32 in the second half. If Andy Reid calls a decent game, they're going to score at least 35 points, maybe more. But, I'm going 35-32.
I'm going 41-28. Bucks win.
Whoa!
By a score of 41-28. And listen, KC Nation, don't hate me. Because deep down in my heart, I want the Chiefs to win. I want Patrick Mahomes to get that number 2.
You just gave me a
more
point
than
there,
I
man.
want Tom Brady to get number 7. I just don't think it's wise at this point in the season to bet against the guy. Doesn't matter how old he is. Doesn't matter who
Wow.
he's playing for. You don't bet against
That is greatness,
Tom
man.
Brady, baby. All right, so we're past our sports section for the week. I hope you guys have an incredible weekend. Watch the game. Hopefully you rub by our friends at Hy-Vee. Stock up there.
Great people at Hy-Vee, Lake of the Ozarks.
Come by
Absolutely.
Slumberland. Get a recliner off the showroom just in time.
Don't you love this table? I love this table.
This is a new modern buffet-style dining room table, and it's provided as our show set right here at Slumberland. So next part of our show, lake headlines, things going around Lake of the Ozarks, Chris,
Yep.
that we want to talk about. And what's first up on our Lake TV headlines?
I think we won some big awards, didn't we, from Missouri Magazine, Lake TV?
Yeah, Lake TV for the second straight year in a row named the top video production company in
How
the
about
state
that?
of Missouri.
That's huge.
So big kudos to our production department. Another interesting headline.
Well, you won a big award, though, too, right? Like biggest personality in Missouri or something like that?
Biggest waistline, biggest ego, biggest something, biggest voice. I don't know. It was something.
It's
but
like
yeah,
10 years in a row you've won or something like
Lake
that.
TV won a couple awards indeed for Missouri Magazine. Chris, we're in a weird place, obviously. Things are going crazy all over the country, whether it's politically, whether it's just businesses.
You want to get me started on politics?
No, you don't. And not only do I not want to, but you'll thank me for not getting him started on that rabbit trail. But so the lake decides, they announced that they're going forward with the Mardi Gras pub crawl in a few weeks.
Wow, that's greatness.
Yeah.
So, but that's one of the great things about this area, the lake area. Hey, COVID, take a hike. We're going to live life like normal. So pub crawl, last summer we did things a little differently, but we still had a great summer, right? And it looks like we're getting it started off. I'm all for it, man. Let's do things like normal.
I just love the simple freedom to be able to choose. Like, no businesses are forced to participate.
That's the way it should be.
No crawlers are forced to buy the band and get on the buses and go to the place. So I love the freedom to choose, because when you start talking about enforcing things like that on people, just personally, it's not the America that I know and love.
I agree 100%. We're supposed to be free, right?
Yeah.
It's land of the free, home of the brave. It's not land of the free if they're telling you can't do this and you can't do that, right?
And not to say that you should, be crazy and go lick every doorknob and, kiss strangers, but use your good judgment, but move on and just continue. I wouldn't say move on, but continue to live life. Yeah. Because man, it's a weird place.
What's scary though is you might get in trouble for saying that now.
Bring it on, baby.
Land of the free, home of the brave. Right?
That's right.
Jeez.
All right. So next up, another interesting story. So a lot of people have been wondering, Chris, what happened to lake race the last couple of years?
Yeah, what did happen to lake race? Because last year called off, right? Because of the COVID stuff.
Yep.
That's one thing that didn't happen here. But that was right after everything blew up, the COVID stuff. So nobody really knew what was going on. And the lake race kind of got caught up in that last year. Do we know if it's coming back this year?
So, as you know, in 2019, it moved away from the Bagnell Dam Strip down to Camden at the Lake and Shady Gators, H-Toads Cove right there. And that's where it used to be when it was the OSS National Offshore Races. And then it moved to Bagnell Dam. Then 2019, it moved back there. Well, so apparently there's news that come out. First to report was KRMS that lake race is coming back for 2021. And not only that, but it's suspected that it's moving back to the Bagnell Dam Strip.
Really? Okay. See, and I'm fairly new to the lake. Is that a good venue for it?
It is a great venue. It's good. There's pros and cons.
Yeah.
However, the biggest kicker is Beavers at the Lake, which is, sat vacant for a little bit now. And there's rumors floating that it has been purchased, and I think it's been confirmed. I'm not sure everybody has said or were able to say, but from what I understand, same owner as Paradise, Tucker Shuckers, and Malted Monkey, George Tucker, has purchased that and has plans to, hopefully not, teaser alert, not ruining any breaking news upcoming, but it's going to be Neon Taco. And I'm sure knowing George, if you see Malted Monkey, that guy's not afraid to do things right, spend some money, and draw people. I think he's going to do some cool neon signs that'll be able to be seen from the water, and it's going to be one of those venues that when people come to Lake, they're going to be like, oh, have you been to Neon Taco? You have to go. And so that's good news for the Bagnell Dam Strip. The weird thing is, though, if you look at the Missouri State Highways or the Missouri State Water Patrol's website, for that particular lake event, there is not a regatta issued on their website. Now, it's not too late for them to still apply, but there's not been one issued.
Not yet.
As well as the mayor has not given the ordinance to Lake Race to hold it on the strip again. However, Mayor Jerry Morowski, very involved, is very confident and even brought up things like the Bagnell Dam Strip Express and communication things with golf carts that George and the crew are going to make it easier to access. So pretty exciting that not only Shootout to look forward to in August, but Lake Race is going to be back at what many racing spectators, fans, and crews believe is the proper location for that event. So those are this week's Lake headlines. And for national headlines, Chris, every week I get to show you a viral video.
Okay.
This one is so cool. It could even be called the feel-good video of the week because with all the crazy negative in the world and all the diversity, it's just nice to see people coming together. And this one right here is one of my favorites.
Okay.
Cruising, huh?
This is great.
Yeah.
Woo. I saw some kid going down the bike lane on one of these in the room. Oh, look at you.
You're getting documented.
Oh, this is marvelous.
Isn't that great?
Wow.
Two young guys.
That's a brave gal there, huh?
Two young guys saw this elderly woman watching them skateboard.
Yeah.
And asked her if she wanted to get on. And not only did she want to get on, the skateboard, and you could just see the pure
She
joy
had a good time.
and excitement. But then what was super cute was when she noticed they were recording, and it kind of shocked her, and she thought that was great.
You know what that reminds
too.
me of? That commercial you see on sports where some old person's about ready to break their hip or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Here we bring in a sweet video of an elderly woman, and you can only think of someone breaking their hip.
You know what I'm talking about, though. That's not very nice, is it?
I go, hey, all you families out there watching and you children, look at our sweet old lady. Chris is sitting here jumping off the top rope, breaking her hip. You're a sick individual, my friend. All right, national headlines, viral video of the week. Chris would have that go viral for a different reason. But next national headline, interesting one here. So Mina Harris, who is the outspoken and very I wouldn't say like personable as like you like her, I would like her. Big personality. Let's just say that. She's the niece of Vice President Kamala Harris, and she's creating some optic issues for the White House.
Oh, that's too bad.
Mina, who's 36, she flew to the inauguration on one of Joe Biden's inaugural donors' airplanes. Now, obviously, there's a conflict of interest there, but she decides she's going to post this to her Instagram story where people can see, and hey, thanks to President Biden for getting me here, one of his donors, which the funds are legally not able to be used for that, so that caused them some issues. Now, she's pretty wise as far as smarts. She graduated from Stanford and then went on to get a master's in law from Harvard, and then she wrote a children's book. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So her children's book, which is number 4 right now on the New York Times bestsellers list. It's called Kamala and Maya's Big Idea. However, at 4 on the New York Times bestseller list, it's safe to assume that she's making some pretty good money on that. However, it is illegal to have any politician's name in America and to profit off their namesake. So they can't be in the title of a book, their memoir. You notice the memoir never comes out till after a president's out of office. Then you're allowed to. So when she was asked about this, not only would she not confirm that she's still making money, which is highly illegal, but she would not deny. Now, there are reports that said the book was written before she was elected, therefore there may be some loopholes, but regardless, I'll tell you, just about 2 weeks in, it's safe to say it's been a pretty rough start for the President Biden and his administration.
Boy, that's just for sure, man.
We won't get him started.
Still got some questions about how he got in there, but hey,
This guy's out of control. We won't bring you too much politics. It's not our job to give you our opinion, but you might get a little bit between the lines.
I might sneak some in there.
And sometimes with this guy, there's no subtle nature about it. There's no sneaking. He's going to come in like a freight train. That's just who this guy is. Our next national headline, this one's more fun. We both love this. This video was from earlier this year. So that's kind of the concerning part of it, was during season.
During the season.
Because I would envision it was after their loss, to the Bucks. However, this video we're about to show you has gone viral over the weekend. And you'll see here this regular civilian is driving in his car, and he happens to see this guy in the back of his pickup truck with a case of beer. No problem. You're in Wisconsin. He's got Packer stuff on. That would be pretty normal, right? However, the guy kind of looks like Aaron Rodgers. Well, guess what? It is Aaron Rodgers. And he even was cool with posing for a little picture, holds up the beer, as you guys can see. And so, Chris, what are your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers?
A case of beer there. Well, number one, I'm pretty impressed that he had a case of beer with him, right? I mean, that dude can drink some beer. Number two, it looked pretty darn cold out there, right?
Yeah.
So he's drinking cold beer in the cold in Wisconsin. To me, that just says he's tough, man. That's one tough dude.
You have to be to play quarterback in Green Bay. Of course, Brett Favre before him, he was tough. He liked Wranglers, and he liked flirting with personnel in the Vikings organization. And then Aaron Rodgers, he just likes cold beer and getting so close to winning championships.
He's always dating some celebrity, though, right? Because he was dating that actress.
Everyone says it's a cover with Aaron Rodgers, though. Everybody says that. It's kind of like they say with Joe Buck. Everyone says that about Rodgers. And to each their own. I could care less, but that is a rumor that Aaron Rodgers has not been able.
Because he was supposedly dating Danica Patrick.
Yeah.
The race
well,
car
no,
driver?
they did. They were together.
Okay.
But there's a lot of interesting rumors.
It's just like you're always dating some superstar until
Not for the last 3 years.
until Unique, then that
Be
was
careful
over.
there. When I first met Chris, the first thing he said about Unique, he goes, "Who's this supermodel girlfriend you've got way out of your league?"
I didn't know how you got with her, so
He thought she was like volunteering for an underprivileged kid organization, and I got paired with her, and that's what he thought, and that's kind of what I still think at times. All right, so that is your national headlines. We're going to transition from all the playfulness and goofiness. It's time for a little inspiration and a little trivia. Chris, take it away, buddy.
So you ready for the quote of the week, right? This is from Mike Ditka. You know who Mike Ditka is, a great Chicago Bears coach, and he was a great player before that.
Even better than that, he's a great actor, from Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, soccer movie.
Well, there you go. Hey, there you go. Okay, so it's short, but it's sweet, and this is for Super Bowl week. You're never a loser until you quit trying, right? You're never a loser until you quit trying. Remember that from your Uncle Chris. There
How
you
many
go.
times, it just makes me think, how many times has Aaron Rodgers quit trying? He's so close right to the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's or the Bills, for that matter.
Yeah, okay. You're not even a Packers fan. All right, so what is our trivia
question of the week? There's another name for, you've heard of the Hawaiian Islands, right? Well, the Hawaiian Islands are known as were actually first named a different name. Any idea what that name is?
Kikikoloha'i.
That's not it.
Okay.
No.
I don't really know any Hawaiian. What was...
Did you know you can say hello and goodbye using the same Hawaiian word? I forget what that word is, though. Aloha, right? That's
Aloha.
it. Yeah.
It's the only
Aloha.
word.
I got that from Hawaii 5-0.
I was going to say, it's the only word in the Hawaiian vocabulary I know. Aloha.
The Sandwich Islands. It was actually originally named the Sandwich Islands, not because they make good sandwiches there, but apparently the captain that found it, he was like Admiral Sandwich or something like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one. And every week you'll get a inspirational quote from my man Uncle Chris, and you'll also get a trivia question of the week, which we'll share with you.
Did you know that trivia question?
I did, not until you sent me the notes over last night.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known either. Yeah, that's right.
So on another segment, every week, Chris and I are going to take turns. Last week on our pilot, which you guys didn't get to see, I got to ask Chris a couple of questions. So this week, he's going to ask me a couple questions, and each week we'll alternate. So Chris, it is time for this week's Fast 2.
Just so you can get to know Will better, okay, where were you born?
I was born in Springfield, Missouri in 1991.
Okay, so you were just down the road then, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
Have you lived your whole life in this area?
Branson till I was 5, Eldon till I was 17, then Versailles and Laurie area till I was about now.
Wow, okay. So, you don't get much more local than that. If you weren't working at Lake TV, and you own Lake TV, what would be your dream job?
Be the voice of the Chicago Cubs or the Buffalo Bills. Now, I have kind of given up on that because I got a bigger gig with this guy right here
there you go, yeah.
on A Cup of Coffee with Will and Chris. So that would be my dream job outside of Lake TV.
Okay, well, there you go. There you have it. You know your Uncle Will a lot better now.
All right, so this has been a great show. Before we let you guys go, we do want to let you know that we have a few shows coming up on Lake TV. Chris, when can you watch some of our upcoming shows?
Okay, you can watch this show, Cup of Coffee with Will and Chris, at 7 in the morning, 12 noon, 7 at night, weekdays here on Lake TV. We also do a coaches show, and this week we've got Camdenton Lakers coach Craig Campbell and Osage coach Craig Engelbrecht, who's a Hall of Famer, and you can watch the coaches show at 9, 4, and 10. 9 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, 10 at night. Community Spotlight Show, that is a great show, by the way. Hosted by your Uncle Chris.
Yeah, baby.
We've got Osage Beach Mayor John Olivery and a president of Operation Life Support, Jerry Peters. Operation Life Support helps veterans and first responders who are in crisis. So really great shows, and you can watch Community Spotlight at 8, 3, and 8 right here on Lake TV.
Very awesome. And then a couple other things. I obviously, and if you guys can't notice, it's because you're either blind or been sleeping on a rock, but I put on some weight over the last 6 months. So I partnered with our friends at Hy-Vee, and this year we're taking our health back with the Holtz's Healthier Lifestyle. You can catch that coming up next week. Couple of big events coming up. Valentine's Day, free wedding vow renewals at Bridal Cave annually. There's a great event. And, of course, the Polar Plunge on the 27th.
Nice and cold.
Well, guys, thank you for tuning in to our first edition of A Cup of Coffee with Will and Chris. For our entire crew, we'll see you guys next week.